In this video, we're going to focus on how we can align the scale on the left side with the right side while we only have one data set here. So it will borrow all the values from the Y scale here. So to do this, the first thing what we need is our border template, which you can find here on chartjs3.com getting started. So once you're on here, copy this chunk of code and you're good to go. Next, if you want to have the source code of this video and many others, check my Patreon page. And of course, got a question, put it on Discord. All the links are in the description box. So what I'm going to do here first is scroll down and let's add up this next scale. By doing that, I'm just going to use the Y tool. And this makes this very easy. Just use this as default. It will instantly recognize this and it will be a linear scale as well. Now what I want to do is I want to move this to the very right side. So I'm going to say here, I'll say two things. Let's copy this begin at 0. And then comma here, and then I say position, and let's put this on the right side. Save, refresh. There we are, that looks much better. Alright, so what we need to do here now is to align them, because we want to have the very max value here and the minimum value. Right now the minimum value is just begin of 0, but if you don't have that, you might have here maybe a min value of 0, 1 or whatever. So we need to emulate those numbers as well. So let me just show you how we can do this. So what I'm going to do here is the first thing. We're going to say here for the max value, because right now there is no max value here. So I'm going to say a max, then I'm going to say a ctx, and then function arrow expression, and then what I'm going to do here is accessing the values that Y has on the Y scale here. So basically, I go into the Y scale, borrow their values, and then put it in here and delete all other values that we have here. That's basically what we're going to do. And to show you how we do this, we're going to say ctx, let's save that, refresh, and then what I'm going to do here is open up the object. You can see here we're right now in the existing scale of Y2. I don't want this, I want to go to the chart. Basically I'm going one level up, or to the chart object. From here on, I can go down again, go into the options, scales, and then say Y scale, and then get the minimum and maximum value. So how do we do this? If I scroll down here at the very bottom, you have the prototype, and in here we have the chart object, which is the top level object. So I'm going to go in there. Say here chart, save this, then you will see now we have access to the scales. And you can see here Y and Y2. In this case, I want to skip Y2. I want to go into Y. You can see here the value of, well, that's the end. I want to get the max, the minimum value, and the maximum value. So let's start to get those. So we're going to say here dot scales dot Y dot max. Save this, refresh. Number 18. Alright, so now we have this. What I want to do now is just say return this specific value. Save that. Alright, so if I refresh this, you can see here we get this weird item. We have to clean up this, redraw everything. So how do we do this? Well, first of all, if you want to have a minimum value, let's make sure we have that one. If ever you don't have to begin at 0. So it's a min will be equal to this min. Delete this console data here. This code can be removed. Save, refresh. Alright, so we forgot a comma here. Save that, refresh. Now we have 18 and we probably have the 0 here as well. Let's clear out all of this. To do that, I'm going to make a comma, and then what I'm going to say here, after the ticks has been drawn, so after tick 2 label conversion, which is by default a 0 to 1 if there's no value matching. So what I'm going to do here then is, so after, once it makes that standard default value, let's start to remove all these values and put in our new values. So what I'm going to say here, ctx.ticks, and we say this will be now 0. Or let me just show you first what I'm doing here. By saying ctx or console log ctx, open up here, and you can see here now, we get here all the ticks, and these are all the default ticks. With the exception of 18 and 0 here, everything else should be removed. So what I need to do here then is just a ctx.ticks will be now a blank array. There we are. It's removed But now we need to put in the items. We'll be needing these because this is our guideline to give us the highest and lowest value. If you don't put in this, it will not redraw properly, especially if you do it like without the console log. If you have the console log open, it might redraw it, but that's only because the console log is open. So that's very important to remember. So what I'm going to say here now is, I just want to go again back into the Y scale. So what I'm going to do here is going to get this dot ticks. So I don't have to explain anymore the path. You understand this probably now. And then we're going to say here for each, we're going to use a for each method because I want to loop through every tick we have. Say tick val, and then we have here the index function expression. There we are. So now let's do a console log and let's see what are the tick value or values that we're getting. Alright, as you can see, we're getting all of these values in an object, value and the label, but they are just, since these are just numeric values, it doesn't really matter, they are all identical. However, this is a string value, as this was being displayed is the string value, while the calculated value is this number here. So don't get confused by it. This is just a string. You could change the number, you could say beginning, end, etc, etc. Anyway, I want to go deep in that. That's another video. So what I'm going to do here now is, all I want to do is I want to push all these tick values into this ticks here so we can redraw this item. So we're going to say ctx dot ticks dot push. And then what I'm going to do here is, we're going to say here for the value object, what is the value I'm going to get? The tick val dot value. As you can see here, we're just going to copy this. The value is the text, and then here the tick val, that is the number. And then we're going to do the same, put a comma here. Then we're going to say for the label, we're going to say tick val dot label. So once we have this pushed, it should show us everything. We don't have to return anything at all, but let's double check, save, refresh. All right, this works. However, let's check here, this works as well. So if you're not seeing this here, you probably don't have this tool here, and then you'll get this problem. Make sure you set this here as well, or else it will not work. So, and that is it. You could remove the grid lines here. I guess you could say here, comma, grid, display equals false, or don't draw in the chart area, something like that. You can just do that. As you can see here, that will be it, but we're missing this one here. Draw on chart area set on false, because I want these tick marks here. There we are. Now we have the tick marks, but we remove the additional grid line so it doesn't look too dark. It looks just like a normal standard grid line that we're used to. And basically this is it.